Today we're going to talk about how to solve multi-step equations and solving multi-step equations that have pieces that need to be simplified. So in this problem I can see that I have some variables of c and some numbers. First thing is these two happen to be on the same side. So if I did 2c and 1c, that would give me 3c. Plus 12 equals 78. So if I was to look at this problem now, my job is going to be to work my way backwards through order of operations. So I'm going to start with getting rid of add and subtract. So if this is a plus 12, I can subtract 12 from both sides. I can see this cancel. So 3c equals 66. So it looks simpler than it did to start with, but I still have a little bit more to get c by itself. So now I'm at the point where I'm going to get rid of any multiply or divide. So 3 times c is what I see here. So to get rid of this, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So I can see this cancel, and c equals 22. Now if I want to check my answer, I can go back and actually plug in 22 for any of the c values. So 2 times 22 plus 1 times 22 plus 12 is going to equal 78. So I just want to make sure when I plug this part in, I actually get 78 as my answer, which I do. So I know my answer checks out. Okay, let's try at least one more. Okay, in this problem, if I want to solve things, these two values are alike. So 3x minus 4x would give me negative 1x plus 6 equals negative 2. So that looks at least simpler. So now I'm going to worry about getting rid of my add or subtract. So here's my plus 6. So I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. Negative 1x equals negative 8. Now I have to get rid of multiply or divide. So divide both sides by negative 1. So the negatives and these cancel out. I'm left with x. On this side I'm at least glad because those cancel out, the negatives. So 8 divided by 1 is 8. There's my answer. Now remember, I can bring this equation down here and I should be able to check it. So if I go and plug all these 8's in where my x's were at, and if I plug all this in, I should end up with negative 2, which I do, and my answer checks out. Okay, last one. These two are the only variables. Remember, if it bothers you, switch the sides. These two put together, 4m minus 2m would be 2m. Then start getting rid of your add or subtract. So subtract 1 from both sides. And then I've got to get rid of multiply or divide. Divide both sides by 2. So m equals 3. Now, I'm not going to check this one. I know that you can plug it back in, but you should always be going back to this to make sure that it works. Ultimately, remember, going through and solving these problems is about getting a variable equal to a number. And then, remember to go back and double check when you're done.